Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Caboose bringing you another Gotham Knights video, and I got a lot to talk about today, okay? There is so much to cover in today's video. I have some good news, and that's for the people that I know are still excited for Gotham Knights, that are looking forward to the game. It's coming out in less than a week now, but I also have some very bad news, some very disappointing news, I will say. I'm going to be openly honest with you guys, okay? We're going to have a nice little one-on-one chit chat today. But before we do so, if you've been liking the content I've been putting out on the channel, if you like the Gotham Knights videos, we'll scroll down right now, hit that thumbs up button, share that love with me. I would really appreciate it. Let's jump into this now. Let's talk about the good news, okay? Let's talk about some things that will be a little uplifting. It was confirmed yesterday that a 4-player co-op mode is coming to Gotham Knights. That's right, you're not just gonna have the 2-player online co-op. The unfortunate downside to that, it's not going to be a 4-player open world co-op, it's gonna be a 4-player co-op mode. The FAQ page on the Gotham Knights website was updated to answer a bunch of questions that people might have regarding this brand new mode that was titled Heroic Assault. So the first question, will Gotham Knights have a multiplayer mode? Yes, Gotham Knights can be played with a friend via the 2-player online cooperative mode or enjoyed solo at launch. On November 29th, the game will also add Heroic Assault, a standalone mode supporting up to 4 players in online co-op. That's right, you're going to be able to play with up to 4 players, but this is not going to be in the open world. That is only going to be strictly 2 players that you can do co-op in the open world with. I'm a little bummed out about that, but I'm glad that not too long after launch, a 4-player mode is coming to the game, and you can have a full team of all 4 members of the Gotham Knights working together and kicking ass. Next question on the FAQ page, what is Heroic Assault mode? Heroic Assault is an upcoming game mode that is separate from the main story campaign. The standalone mode supports up to 4 players in online co-op and provides a dedicated arena-like environment with specific objectives to complete and enemies to defeat on each floor, with 30 floors total. Now, I absolutely despise the "this game looks like Avengers" comment, but this does sound like a mode or a mission type that is currently in the Avengers game that some people might know, and I believe it's the Mega Hive, or just the hives in general. You go in, there's multiple floors, several enemies to defeat, and some objectives to try and complete, and that's how you beat the mission. The only fun thing for me is that I much prefer the Gotham Knights gameplay to something like Avengers. I don't see the similarities between those two games in that department, and so this could be fun for that reason. I do wish that there was going to be the ability to have 4 players in online co-op in the open world, especially considering that the 2-player co-op is going to be untethered. It could have been really fun to have all my buddies in there, up to 4 people, just roaming around the city of Gotham in different districts from one another, taking down criminals, and then meeting up in the middle somewhere. If this is the only compromise that we can get, well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to try it out, and of course, I'm going to cover it here on this channel, but I wish that we got a little more. So just in about a month from now, that mode is going to be coming to the game, and it will be for free. Okay, now let's talk about the bad news, because there is some bad news to go over. Some information dropped last night regarding whether or not there's going to be a 60 FPS mode in Gotham Knights. You know, with next-gen games, or at least games that are coming to, I guess it's called current-gen now, PS5 and Series X, the norm has been that most games have a performance mode. That is a 1080p 60 FPS mode, and then they'll have a quality mode, which bumps you up to 4K, and may sometimes even include ray tracing. In rare instances, like with Spider-Man and Miles Morales, they have a performance ray tracing mode, which allows you to get the best of both worlds. That is an anomaly. That's something that hasn't become the norm, but Insomniac are on another level, so they just do it like nobody else does it. And of course, everyone has been sitting here anticipating that Gotham Knights would be following this same trend. You know, I was told that Gotham Knights has ray tracing on console, which was great news to me, but everyone had assumed that there's probably going to be a way to turn off ray tracing, bump it down to 1080p, and get that 60 FPS going. Well, Fleur Marty, who works at WB Montreal, posted in the Discord and said this: "Hello everyone. I know many of you are wondering about the availability of a performance mode for Gotham Knights on consoles. Due to the type of features we have in our game, like providing a fully untethered co-op experience in our highly detailed open world, it's not as straightforward as lowering the resolution and getting a higher FPS. For this reason, our game does not have a performance/quality toggle option and will run at 30 FPS on consoles. I really don't know how else to slice this. It is very unfortunate that Gotham Knights is not going to have a 60 FPS mode and will be capped at 30 FPS on console. This is not like a massive deal breaker for me. Like, I play a lot of these next gen games at 30 FPS because I just want them to look as pretty as possible, mainly because I'm a photo mode nut. I love to go into photo mode. I spend way too much time in it, but I have a lot of fun with that, making games look nice, messing around with photo mode. That's some of the most fun that I've had playing games. I know that sounds weird, but I know for a lot of people that's the same thing. But even then, every now and again, I like to switch on performance mode just to see the game running at a smooth 60 FPS. Then you have games like Spider-Man, and again, this is because Insomniac just goes the extra mile, where even if you're playing on the performance mode, when you go and try and take a photo in the game, it automatically switches to the 4K ray tracing mode, which I think is brilliant. What I'm trying to get at here is that this is definitely very disappointing news, and for a lot of people, this is a deal breaker. I really wish that this could have had a 60 FPS performance mode, and I don't work on games. I definitely didn't work on Gotham Knights, and I'm absolutely not being paid by anyone. So I don't know how this stuff works. I don't know the intricacies of game development and why this wasn't possible. My speculation is that this game was originally supposed to release on the PS4 and the Xbox One. The last gen versions of the game were canceled, unfortunately, and I have a feeling that canceling those last gen versions had set them back a lot in terms of development that they were putting in to the next gen versions, to the PS5 and Series X versions of the game. You know, if all the way back in 2020, or at least even way before that, when the game had initially started its development, the plan was originally to just have it be a next gen game, then maybe this would have been possible. And with that being said, who knows if down the line, a couple of months, maybe a year, although that's quite a long time from now, we might get a performance mode patched in. I'm sure a lot of people complaining and being upset has definitely got WB Montreal and WB Games in general really thinking about how they can make it possible. So honestly, who knows? Anything can happen. We're going to have to wait and see. I'm still obviously going to get the game because I got to cover it. I got to show off the game for you guys, give you my review and all that fun stuff. So I want to try it out and play it and see it for all it's worth, because for me as well, I really want to see the story. I want to experience that, see how it all plays out, what the Court of Owls involvement is going to be. That all looks like a lot of fun to me. And I did like what I played. What I played was definitely running at 30 FPS, but I had some fun with it, to be honest. And I'm looking forward to jumping back into the open world and seeing all that this game has to offer. Again, 60 FPS is not a deal breaker for me, but it's absolutely disappointing. There's no way around that. What I need to chat with you guys, though, before we go, is that some people out there are getting rabid. This is way too much, guys, okay? At a certain point in the Discord, people were impersonating me. There have been personal insults that have been thrown my way. There have been death threats and personal insults that have been thrown the developers' way. And that's just too much. That is just way too far. You're allowed to not be happy about this. I'm not happy about this, but maybe we should cut back on getting to the extremes, especially over 60 frames per second. I mean, come on, guys, take it easy. I also know that the reason you guys are mainly upset is because of how close to launch that this was announced. A lot of people put their money down on pre-orders already, with this information being a deal breaker for them, and to have it deconfirmed 1 week before launch has a lot of people scrambling, and has certainly upset the fan base in that way. Maybe they should have announced it back in May when they put out that Red Hood and Nightwing demo. That's when they announced that the last gen versions of the game were getting canceled, and I know this would have added fuel to the fire, exponentially so, but at least it would have given enough people time to digest this information and then make an informed decision on whether or not they want to pre-order or whether or not they just want to get the game in general. But again, just calm it down a little bit, express your grievances, provide your feedback. That is important to these developers. It's what they need to improve these games. But nothing is going to happen if you're throwing insults at people, if you're sending death threats to people, and as well, if you're just saying the game is trash, L game this, plus ratio that. It's not going to do anything for anyone, and it's not going to improve these games. You're the type of person, when you're saying stuff like that strictly wants this game to fail, and unfortunately, you're never going to get good games if that's all you're set out to do. Especially when people are attacking me for it. I'm just the messenger, bro, okay? I just cover the games. I express my excitement for the things I'm looking forward to, but I'm always going to be open and honest with you when there's something that I don't like. A lot of people are misconstruing me not saying that this game's trash every time I have something negative to say for me just sugarcoating the negatives that I have to say. I'm trying to provide constructive criticism because if there's something that I don't like with the game that I'm playing, I would like for it to change. Ideally, I would hope for it to improve. I don't want it to just be bad. I want it to improve. So providing constructive criticism is what I'm about. A lot of people out there, though, have made up their mind with this game. They do not want to get it. They didn't want to get it since May. So why not just move on at that point? If you're not going to pre-order, if you're not going to put down the $70 when the game comes out, regardless of reviews, even if it gets glowing reviews, well then that's it. Just go to the next game. Get excited for something like God of War Ragnarok or Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League in the new year, Spider-Man 2. There's tons of other games that you can put your hype towards. But insulting me, telling me that I've been paid by WB to be excited for something, you can't be paid to have an opinion, okay? And even if I was paid, I would legally have to inform you of such. So let's just cool it, okay? I get you guys are upset. I am disappointed, very much so, that Gotham Knights is not going to have a 60 FPS mode. But it's not the end of the world, okay? We get to move on to another game that you're excited for, and that'll be that. And with that being said, now I want to kick it to you guys. Try to be civil and sound off with your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed my video, please consider hitting that thumbs up button. It would show your support, and I would really appreciate it. I've been Caboose, and I'll see you guys later.